Oh my God, imagine doing that for 3 hours. But I'll tell you what, in 3 minutes, I'll break down one question that you might have seen on your quiz. So here it is, you probably remember it. When a valid subject is not authenticated, this is known as what? All right, so let's start by breaking down a very important keyword, authentication. Authentication is simply just making sure a person is who they say they are. So for example, you could say, well, my name's Sam, but prove it. You got to prove the identity that you've claimed. This question is implying a type of authentication known as biometrics. Biometrics, physical characteristics that uniquely identify us. Think of it like a thumbprint. When you go in, you actually authenticate to your phone. We do it every day. Now, biometrics is great. It's very secure, but it's not perfect. 2 types of errors that you should be aware of. Type 1 error is when somebody who is a valid user actually gets falsely or incorrectly rejected. A type 2 error is when somebody who should not be authenticated is falsely or incorrectly accepted. So let me ask you guys, what do you think which one is worst or more egregious? Exactly. A type 2 error is worse. Type 1 is simply an inconvenience or a nuisance. But type 2, that's when you have a breach. So there's the answer to your question right there, right? When a subject is not authenticated, but they're valid, this is known as a type 1 error. Now, we know the answer to the question, but let's actually apply this. Let's learn something. Here's where it gets really cool. You can actually make sure in your organization that you have fewer type 2 errors. You can actually lower the rate of your type 2 errors by tuning the sensitivity. So if you make your biometric system more sensitive, what happens? And by the way, by sensitive, what we mean is like more strict or more narrow or more restrictive. So what happens when you tune your sensitivity, you get fewer false acceptances. But the flip side, you tune your sensitivity, you get more false rejections or type 1 errors. So typically from a security perspective, your organizations want to tune the sensitivity to a point at which you have fewer false acceptances. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you learned something. If you're interested in learning more, visit us at cybervista.net/certify. We'll see you in class.